Hey, Silverwolf, what's up, man? Congratulations on the TA set, making it in. Thank you so much. Is there any place where you could send a model for constructive critique? Yes, dude, absolutely. You can either shoot me a message on Twitch, you just right-click my name in here, or you can go to LiveWorkshop.com. At the very top right, there is a little mail icon, and you can just email me. That will get directly into my workstation. The axe and this vent are, and the curse, what you got for the chest. You mean like the chest before the last one? With this Sven, the gold Sven. Hey, what's up, Yog? Alright. Oh, what is in my eye? Okay. Hey Manny, would more item donations work for the bar thingy? Because I don't know if I'm able to like pay directly, is all. Would more item donations work for the bar thingy? That's something that I'd have to do manually. So I mean, we could combine everything into like one thing and just keep building the whole bar up by itself, maybe. But if we do that, then I have to keep editing the all these like things on my side, and that just takes time. And as we continue to gather more people and more people for the lab workshop, that might get really out of hand, and I won't be able to really keep up with it. So having this automated system is probably the best way to go about doing it. Now, David, that doesn't mean that you can't just that you can give item donations. That's awesome. Like, you've given us those signatures already. So I mean, if you want to donate items, yeah, just send items and we'll give those away as well, man. That's super nice of you. Thank you. All right, Rattler. See you later, man. Thanks for dropping by, even if it was a little bit. See you later, man. L2 Dex, thank you, man. What's up? How you doing? Oh, is this your first time seeing our Naix model, our life stealer? Yes, if it is, man, let me show you. Oh man, hold on. I want to listen to your answer if this is your first time seeing it. Because if it is, man, I'm gonna show you like the bit of like, I mean, we started the texture, it's just a little bit early. But I'll show you that, and I'll show you the Zbrush that we did for it. From Venezuela. Oh shit. Alright, man, welcome. Bienvenido. Venezolano. Hey Manny, how are you? I adore your work, continues to be really great. I'm studying for video games and I see you're rad amongst others motivates me a lot. Oh dude, that is so awesome. That's great. That's like one of the best things that we can hear here at Live Workshop, man. We really appreciate it, and hopefully you're learning a lot from all the work we've done for the years, so just passing the information along to you guys, and hopefully you guys can grow with it copy it and then make it your own and go out there and make awesome stuff. Bienvenido. Sí, hablo español, soy mexicano. Alright, show you the Zbrush. I actually, earlier today I was getting started on the Midas. I was like, I'll do a couple of tests and then when we start the stream I'll actually do the real one. But as I was doing the test and just fool around with it, I was like, that's actually looking kind of good. I think I can actually polish that up and look really nice. Instead of throwing that work away, I kept it and I stopped myself from working on it so that we could finish it right here on the stream for you guys. I didn't want to go too far ahead. I kind of was just testing the area around the thumb for the Midas. I kind of like got that looking kind of like half decent. I mean, we're still really low in the subdivision levels, but we can do the whole rest of it. And the rest of the hand I haven't really touched. I just did a couple of sketches where I went the lines. So it's really, really early on it. So you guys can still, if you guys want to try and do something like this, like a glove or armor, you guys can watch this video now or later in the broadcast archive and learn how to do it the way that we're doing it here for Dota stuff, you know, more on the simple side of things, but should help you guys out. So yeah, we'll be doing that today. And then we'll jump into some texturing stuff for the face or the pants or the arm or the back item, or maybe the heart even, though the heart's almost finished on his back. So for the people that don't know, we have the two, well, this is a 4 item set, but we're doing a 5 item set for him, so you have 2 options on the back. To either have the Hand of Midas or to have the Heart of Trask inside of an urn, well, a broken urn. So I'll show you that, guys, in XSI real quick here, soft image. So here's the low poly for that. Hey MC Eric, what's up, man? Bienvenido. On Boxy, thank you. How many hours so far? No idea. The Zbrush for the wraps actually took way longer than I should have spent on it, but it actually worked out. Like, all that stuff got transferred into the low poly really well out of the bakes that our artist enemy did after we did this in Zbrush. And like, even when I down-res this to 256 by 256 size texture, all these holes and these little bits actually are still readable when you zoom in, you know, to see the details of the model. And then from far away, the bigger lines are what create the shape. So when you're creating detail for your Dota stuff, obviously first things that you need to worry about is make sure that they fit inside the UV space, so that you have enough resolution, it doesn't get all pixelated and ugly, right? If you do that well and don't overdo it, then what you have to worry about is making the detail that works from a distance and the detail that works from up close. The detail that works from a distance, like I said, was these big holes or alphas that we're painting on there. These big thick lines that are going to create shadows and in the ambient occlusion masks that we create. So you see those separate lines that will create, you know, the look of the wrap, the mummy wraps from a distance. And then when you zoom in up close, then you see all the little bits, the weathering, the aged, you know, the history behind the set. So those are the 2 things to keep in mind when, you know, you hear, you know, that people are sculpting way too much detail and stuff. Pepe Shabu, welcome, guys. I think my new follows, I have new, or should I update it, notifications. Some of them might be a little bit low, so if I miss some follows or whatever, I'll try to catch up on them a little bit after. Sorry about the shoutouts. Megas is probably coming up soon here. Welcome. Jeha. Easy Game. Zodiac Beast. M1's following now. Welcome, you guys. Thanks for joining us. Oh, right on, Tropical. I'm sure you will, man. Just put time into it and, like, really dedicate yourself to it, and you'll get there, absolutely. And then some. Abdil, I think that was. You know, the font's kind of small on my screen. I need a different thing to be able to read the melodies here. At Biff, I think that was. Yeah. The Hand of Midas fits him better in the back, you think? Yeah, I think they're both gonna work. You know, at first I thought the heart was gonna look just way better on his back. We'll be working this a lot more. I mean, like I said, let me show you guys. I just started doing like the thumb part, and I actually started reading really, really well from far away. And the big shape, I kind of like opened up this the opening in the middle where the gold comes out from, or the coins, you know, and from referencing the icons from Dota and Dota 2. And then we'll go through and create all the nice detail on the hands and the rest of the armor over here, and then we'll also do the top of the hand, because the hand of Midas itself is actually going to be able to fall off it during the death animation and do some cool shit. So we'll be sculpting the top side as well, not just the palm. Okay, so yeah, here's some of the other details that we did for the cloth. You can see here I actually just sculpted out of a plane and did all the detail for it, and I kind of just pushed away the area that's going to be offset out or transparent, and keep the poly count low. So all this stuff I just pushed back. I didn't bother about the edges. You don't have to worry about them. You bake it out, and this is going to be cut off anyway, so no need to be super tidy with your Zbrush sculpts. You can just cut that stuff out in the texture and be good to go. So yeah, all these holes in here I'll show you guys in the textures. Actually worked out really, really nice. All these little bits that I just kind of like pushed back, you will actually be able to see through those from the top view, and it just really looks, you know, older and weathered, and came out great. Do I have any items from our creations accepted by Vob? Yes, we do. We have the Tools of Mana Harvester for Pudge. We have some Pudge items, the Bloodstained Breeches. We have the Sunwire Phantom Lancer set. We have the Templar Assassin set that just went in for New Bloom. We have Juggernaut that's been on hold for a Chinese actual release of Dota, but we're using it for something else now because it took way too long. We have a Lone Druid set for Admiral Bulldog that is on hold as well. And we have a whole bunch of other stuff coming out that is not quite in the game yet. But yeah, lots and lots and lots coming. Alright, let me guys show you really quick on here so we can start actually, or finish sculpting that Midas. So here's the heart in on the broken urn on his back. It's not finished yet, the texture, but it's got a pretty good start on it. Some nice shadows, some highlights started to painting on the red there, but it still needs a whole bunch of touch-ups and polishes. But for the most part, the base colors and lighting systems are on there. We haven't really touched this part at all. That's still just a bunch of layers kind of thrown together. We have to make the Aegis and the Blink Dagger, and what else do we have on here? The Dota logo on there. Maybe an R2 unit, I don't know. We'll make those more apparent with some good highlights and some shadows into the middle parts and whatnot. But yeah, that's still undone. Same as the hole, we haven't really painted the hole in the middle. We kind of painted that in there. Ooh! Shitty Wizard. And yeah, a little bit on the spikes. We still have to clean up these spikes quite a bit. They're really, really rough right now. And we started kind of like setting up the pants textures. And so you can see actually the alphas that I was talking about, those holes. Those are actually alphas, so you can see, well, it's kind of messed up right now, but you can see right through them. Same with the edges at the bottom. I turned those into alphas so that we use less polygons, but we keep the way nicer, higher detail look for them. It looks a lot better. All tattered, right? Older. Same for the other side. And here are the ones I was talking about for the single piece. You see how all those guys worked out. They look really, really old. Very mummy-esque. Thank you, L2. And I started throwing a little bit of color on it. There's a lot to do on this texture still, but for the main thing is the layers for all these guys is pretty much set up. From here on out I can just kind of merge and paint over top and then just do the actual like hand painting for the rest of them. So here you can see on the right side, well, my hands are kind of hiding some of the layers, but you guys can see here, if I expand this out all the way, you can see all the layers that I have here set up just for the pants. And same, well, I guess this one's going to be longer because we have metals on here for the armlet and for the arms and the wraps by his arms, which replace the chains. So here you can see the other layers here set up for this layer, or for this PSE file. So from here on out, I just work on the top 4 layers. I make like a shadows layer, a highlight layer, and just hand paint the rest of the highlights and little things like that. And if we need to, we'll bring into 3D code and paint out the seams and just do more of a 3D painting. Can we see how the light interacts with the objects before we throw them into the game? Yes, we're able to compile and do tests inside of the game. Though I don't really do that all that often. I pretty much almost finish the textures, then we throw it into the game, and then we make the materials. If any texture changes are needed, then we do them at that point. But usually we've done quite a few sets, so there's little things that we clean up here and there, but we don't have to keep checking them into the game, through the whole process. Just near the end. But yeah, if you're new, then that's something you should definitely do, as you're making your textures, to make sure that you're not spending hours on things that are not going to be really transferring over well, whether they're too detailed or the resolution doesn't hold up. Do a few tests if you're new to the whole Dota 2 style creation, because it is really unique, and it does take a bit of practice to get used to that. But once you get it down, you can just do that near the end. You'll be fine. The name of the creations that we're making, you can just go to LiveWorkshop.com. On the very top right, you can see the Steam icon, and if you hit that up, here, let me show you. So here's LiveWorkshop, here's the website. At the very top, you can see all our channels. Our YouTube, our Twitch, our Facebook, our Twitter, our Steam channel, and not the Steam group. This is just our Steam kind of workshop more than anything. And then our contact. So if you hit that Steam icon right there, you can see all the items that we've made and the items that are in game, because they'll have a green check mark on them. So if we go here to a super old one, page 14, here you can see it's got a green check mark, and you can see that one's in game right now. The bloodstained bridges for Pudge, right? So there you go, man. Super easy. Easy. Hogard, man. Hogard. Alright, man, you're welcome. So that's 3 textures there. There's the face one. It's a little bit more advanced. More the work on the shadows has been done, and kind of getting rid of the super dark stuff and kind of blocking it out with that slightly dark brown. Which you guys can see here on the face. You can see like the bottom part, it's more of that brown. Makes everything easier to read from mid and from far away. Instead of having all this crazy detail that I haven't cleaned up just yet. See, like all this detail that came out from the bakes? I have to brush that stuff away, so what I'm doing is adding this tone of brown to do the edge work for it. And then that kind of encases the real detail that we want to see. And then do a little bit of painterly work on top of that. So this, like I said, this is still pretty early, but it's a pretty good start. Starting to do a little bit more clean stuff here in the middle by his nose. And kind of tested out a little bit of an alpha on the tethered part by his teeth as well. So that will look a little nicer on the avatar, some extra little detail. And we'll clean that up and make it look better, but the hues start to work out really nice. There's a lot of detail to this face wraps, but with the cleanup that we're doing, the shapes are starting to look a little bit cleaner and easier to read, even though there's so many wraps going over each other. And the reds are also helping as well, actually. A nice little touch there. Oh yeah, and we have brand new eyes for him instead of his default eyes. We gave him bloodshot mummy eyes. Your friend drank 5 bottles of Hogarten, and then he said that he felt like he was a bottle of Hogarten. Was he able to keep the Hogarten inside? We ever done a set for Centaur? No, not yet, man. We almost did, actually. We're gonna work with Danny them on a set, but we ended up having to do something else at the time. But yeah, we actually have had an idea and a design ready for Centaur. But yeah, maybe we'll get to that later in the year, man. Okay, let me show you guys the other office here. You can see it's actually works really well because it shows the colors of Naix. right underneath. You know, you can see right there his tricep, by his bicep there, and by his forearm here. Works really well. You know, makes it feel like those straps are actually going over top instead of like just being a solid piece. They work a lot better this way. Same with the edge here. I mean, you can see the backside here, which you won't be able to see in game. There's no backsides in Dota. So here, imagine that these guys are in there, and that's what it would look like from the top. So you see the nice green underneath there in game. It's gonna work out really, really cool. And over here, we have our armlet that we started painting out, coloring and beating up. It's still really... I just got it cut out and did a really shitty job, so I gotta clean all that stuff up and actually do it properly. Some desaturation or paint chips near the top there. As for the rest of it, I don't know, the shadows are looking pretty decent, the glows are looking pretty decent. The gradation from pink to red towards the bottom is working really nice to kind of blend it with the model texture, so it feels like it's part of the same model and not just an item thrown on top. And we also have the wraps. Now the wraps are able to keep really nice resolution because they're actually mirrored left and right, even though they look quite different. Let me throw the wireframe on here. These wraps on the left side are the same UVs as this guy's on the right. I just kind of use the topology and the geometry, I should say, in a really clever way so that it doesn't look mirrored. It makes a new shape and it still works with those textures. And not only that, but check this out. See this alpha that we added over here? Having that on the right side works great because you're able to see this other really cool parts of the armlet, like the other lights, instead of just hiding them completely. You know, and you do see that, you know, 3D aspect to it because they're sitting over top of them a little bit. So that worked out really, really, really great. I was really happy about that. Yeah, so over here we'll just do some more highlights so you can see the shape of those wraps a little bit more near the top. But that's more part of the painting stuff that we do on the top, on the last of the layers that we do. But yeah, pretty decent start for those. We haven't really touched too much of this textures on top for the wraps. We'll have to do that soon. I just kind of did the alphas for them and set up the layers, of course, and color corrections and all these things. So I mean, I did do quite a bit of work on them. I just haven't really painted on them or did the highlights or the stuff that is more actual hand painting. Mr. Forgetful, what's up, man? Welcome in. Hey, do you like the icons? I polished up the sub icons. It's got more blue hues on it and it's sharper and everything. I think it works out better, and it's not all black. I mean, as cool as the little Vader mask was before, it was kind of hard to see if people were using the dark Twitch interface for Twitch, so I think this works great. Hey Danchik, what's up, man? Welcome in. Buddy Matt, welcome to the stream. How long have we spent on this? I don't know, dude. We were working actually this 6 months ago, and we had to shelve it because we had other projects we had to jump on. So back then, I think we just did the blockout for the low poly, and I think we started on the UVs for maybe one item. And past that, I think we worked on this for maybe a week after that. No, more like 2 weeks because the wraps took for fucking ever. But even though I didn't work on the wraps every day, I worked on them like maybe 2-3 hours every other night or something like that. So if I had to guess, I'd throw a week at it on top of whatever we did, the low poly that we did 6 months ago, which I have no idea. I mean, I'd have to throw like maybe another week on top of that, or another 4 days for the low poly, give or take. Awesome, Mr. Forgetful. I think it came out really good. I'm happy with the sub icons. Hey, Overdose. What's up, man? Rabbit 11-7. What up? Rodridge Key? Damn. Fuck that up. The Source 2 or every other major update who come with it, like Rubicon, will change the game for such creators. No, I don't think it's gonna change all that much. If anything, it's just gonna give us more freedom into maybe polygon distribution or polygon limit, maybe texture sizes, maybe more material options, maybe more effects liberties, maybe no. Yeah, I think it's only for the better. It'll be alright. Oh, Ariel, what's up, girl? I didn't see you. What'd you do? Hey, oh, there you are. What's up? Yeah, I totally missed you. I'm sorry. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I see. It'd be a lot easier to see if you had a sub icon in front of your name. No, don't worry about it. I saw you. I saw you. Just took a little bit longer. Welcome. Un rollo de tela para Pudge. So you're saying like toilet paper for Pudge instead of his hook? That'd be pretty dope. What is the giveaway? Well, we're just gonna give away like a whole, like maybe each giveaway, since the sets come in chests and you know, like they're like what, $2.50, $3, something like that. Maybe each giveaway, maybe we do like 3 or 4 sets at a time. And then we're working on another thing that I was explaining earlier. I'll show you super quick. Won't spend as much time talking about it. But here at the bottom, see that bar that just appeared? Can you guys see that? Yeah, you guys can't see that. Right at the bottom there, underneath the giveaway, there's this upgrade to Arcana donation thing, but I don't like the way that it's presented with the dollars and the money and the fact that there's numbers. I just want it to be like 1 donation, 1 point, and whether it's like a lot of, like, you know, $1 to $100, whatever people donate, it just still counts as 1. So people have still the freedom, and it's not as pushy, I guess. I don't know. So I don't know. That's the idea I'm playing around with, but I don't like how it's, you know, the way it's presented. So I'm not really showing it yet. Rude. I know. Us pirates, you know. Hey, Overdose, thank you so much, dude. We are happy that you enjoy it. Thank you for the follow. Hail Hydra. Yeah, it'd be pretty funny, L2. All humans in here. Tree Toad? Tree Toad, you're a toad, man. Sorry to break it to you. Okay, so yeah, we're not gonna work on the textures right now. Let's actually just jump into the Zbrush. See if this works. There we go. We got our cogwheel working. People coming here asking what program we're working on. It's I swear, it's like 10 questions every night. Here you go! Exclamation mark cog. Program being used shows up inside of the cogwheel at the bottom left of the screen. Alright, so Zbrush for most everything is done. The last things to do in Zbrush are the wraps, which you guys can see right here, are obviously unfinished compared to all these awesome detailed ones that took us forever. And the Hand of Midas. But we're gonna be working on the Hand of Midas first, so let's hide everything else and then just keep working on this thing here, which is it's really early. I just worked on it like maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes earlier before the stream, maybe 20 minutes. I was just kind of fooling around with it, see which direction I wanted to take it in before I started the stream and actually did it for good, because I was like, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this or how I'm gonna cut it up. So I got a whole bunch of reference images for, well, that's our slider cosplay I made that we went over through at the beginning of the stream. If you guys missed it, watch the replay. It was really funny. At least it made me laugh. Here's the icon for the Hand of Midas. So what I'm trying to keep consistent for our items of our in-game items is, you know, still give them our own little flair, you know, keep them a little more unique like we did here with our wraps, and kind of aged it and actually did our own design for the inside, you know, like this is not actually what it looks like, we actually just designed this stuff ourselves, like the pattern, right? And for the Heart of Taras, you know, we encased it in this urn, like, you know, it's the whole mummy aspect of it, right? So it was just perfect. We had to do the organ instead of the urn, and then with the urn we kind of like put a little ice frog there as a little shout out to one of the creators of the game. So We also kept the icon for the Heart of Trask. We kept it really similar from the top view, and that's because I wanted to be like instantly recognizable as that item. Even though we took some liberties and, you know, tried to make it a little cooler or a little bit work a little bit better in 3D. You know, sometimes you gotta change things when you go from 2D to 3D. But I think we did a pretty decent job at keeping that recognizable from almost all the angles all the way across. I mean, there's not little I can do for this angle here, but I think about 270 degrees out of it are really recognizable and it worked out really, really good. So the same thing for the Midas. You guys can see here the low poly for the Midas with our wireframe on. I wanted to have the hand open and kind of be pretty recognizable from most angles, and also kind of detailed the sculpt with the same kind of armature on there. You know, we'll be doing the little blade mail that he's got going on there, the chain mail, the same kind of divisions of armor across the top, the opening in the middle. I kind of made that larger so that it's more readable from far away. And actually, we have this thing working in game. Abyss worked on this design for the effects in the game, and oh, that's the point that I was getting to like 40 minutes ago or something ridiculous, right? Or maybe a half an hour ago. I jump all over the place. You guys will learn this about Sith. So I always thought that the Heart of Trask would be way more popular just because it's cooler looking, it's got an urn, it's got a little frog on it, it's gonna be pulsing. Oh, that's right, I had an image for that. Where did I put that image? Hold on, guys, you guys gotta see this shit. And now it's a placeholder, you know, so it's got no textures or anything, but oh my god, it's gonna be so far up. Hold on, it's gonna be worth it. Let me find it. I might not be able to find it. Okay, that is not it. Hold on. Oh, I think it was a file sent to me. The file sent to me, then I need to actually find it somewhere. One second. Actually really cool. It's the heart actually animated and moving. And it's not the final version of it, but no idea where the fuck I put it. Man. I'm gonna leave you guys hanging. Oh my god, that is loud. Sorry about that. Where are you? And actually, because you guys are so cool for waiting, I'll show you guys a little bit of this Chaos Knight in motion, which is gonna blow your minds. Ah, I found it. Okay, so this is obviously placeholder texture or whatnot. But this is the initial animation, the first pass in the animation that we did for the Heart of Trask that's going to be on the back of Naix. So check it out. So what we're actually going to end up doing for the final version is have the top part be the one that has this kind of motion that you're seeing right here at the bottom. You can see my mouse. You guys can't see my mouse over this for some reason. What the shit? Why can't you guys see? Okay, well, whatever. Wait a minute. This is weird. Alright, well, anyways. The upper part where all the spikes are at is what's actually gonna have the more of the motion that you're seeing near the bottom, the double pulsing of the heart. And that way we're actually gonna have those spikes at the top kind of like go up and down, and you kind of like overshadow each other every now and then and create a really nice depth between all of them, and it's gonna work really nice. And at the same time, the top of the urn that has a spike going through it will actually move together as one piece instead of you know, kind of coming off a little bit as it is right now. But yeah, like I said, this was the first pass that we did for it. Abyss was animating this, and the new version is gonna have the top part moving more, the bottom part a little bit more stable because it's sitting on top of the urn itself. And it's gonna look amazing in game, and we're also gonna have some spurts of blood coming off of it as well. And then on the death animation for when he's got the heart and the urn are gonna break apart, and it's gonna fall off and roll on the ground and leave like a streak of blood, and it's gonna be awesome. Oh, and we're also planning on like exploding it a few seconds after, and just like little chunks gonna go everywhere. So that's, I mean, with that in mind, we didn't have the design fleshed out yet for the Midas, but for the heart, you know, we already had all that stuff kind of like set up, and that's why I thought that the Midas was gonna be way cooler than, you know, or the heart was gonna be better than Midas. But seeing the Midas in game, even without the Zbrush done or anything, we just have the low poly in game right now, like all rigged up, because we did a test to see the motion and the deformation for it. Seeing the Midas actually drop coins every now and then and bounce on the ground as the lifestealer is walking about, it looks freaking amazing. Like it's way cooler than it sounds. Believe me, believe me. But yeah, it's really cool. So I actually think that the Midas actually is even a little bit cooler than the heart already, even though the heart looks, or I thought the heart looked way cooler for me than the Midas. Also for the death animation, we're doing something special as well for the Midas, you know, not just to leave a cool death animation for the heart itself. For the Midas, we're planning on Naix kind of like, you know, flinging around and falling over, and the Midas goes up in the air and then falls down on his chest and turns all of Naix into gold. So that will be fucking amazing as well, right? And that might actually shoot up past the heart. But I don't know. I think both will be cool. You can switch between them every now and then. And people can choose whatever they want if we get into the game. But yeah, we're putting a lot of cool work into it, a lot of cool ideas, and we're really excited to get it out the door. L2 decks. No, actually, those are not our sets. The set that you're looking at from X is from a different artist. We're just promoting him, and we're helping other artists get more eyes on their awesome work. So we're helping the community. You know, we're not only streaming here to help artists, we actually help other artists in the workshop so that more people can see their cool work and give them votes if people like them, and hopefully get their sets into the game as well. So that's what you're looking at. That X set was done by Brainot. Oh god, what's his name? You can look it on the website. So there's him. We have a really cool Naga. We have an awesome Wards by Belek. We have what's on there right now, an Ogre Magi that actually got into a tournament chest as well. So that's awesome. What else is on the front website? You go check it out, guys. Go to LiveWorkshop.com and check out all the sets that are running through the banner. And Aerial, yeah, that's right. I mean, I just explained the money. Actually, we have it working in game. We have the Midas actually, you know, coins dropping out of it as Naix is walking around. It's amazing. The TA set was done by us. We did the TA set. Actually, if you go to LiveWorkshop.com, you can see the first 3 videos of how we created part of the low polygon, the UVs for it, and the first video of Zbrush actually went up today. You guys can check that out if you want to. Paper Planes by MIA. I do have that song, dude. I just can't play I don't have the license for those songs, so I can't play it. Otherwise, it'll get muted for the broadcast archive, and people won't be able to watch or listen to the stream later, man. So I can only play the music that I have the license for, and anything you hear from when I go live after the beginning of the stream, I have the license. Hey, Sidpex. You what? You mean the TA? Not many people like the fact that she didn't have the mask and there wasn't much color to it. It was too much of a change for them, but our community, we have next to no problem with it. Yeah, man, I noticed there was like a lot of hate for not having the mask, and there was somebody also posted like a terrible like front shot of the set, and the set is not designed to be seen from the front by any means. In game, she's always bent downwards, so you never see the front of her most of the time. So it'd be silly for us to design and spend a lot of our polygons and our texture on the front when you never see it, so we spent that on the back. And another thing to keep in mind is that the set is also built for a different audience. It's more for the Chinese audience, more for the Chinese audience than the American or Latin American, or American, just as a whole America's audience. So yeah, a lot of people would have problems with that, or the mask missing because it was hiding or secretive enough, because keeping secrets, the only way to keep secrets is with a veil over your mouth, I guess. But I don't know, I didn't see it that way. I thought, she was more of a disguised assassin, so she wasn't in her ninja wear, she was wearing a sexy dress to go kill somebody. And yeah, I mean, the Asian community responded really, really well to it, and just at the end of the day, you can't please everybody. So another thing is all the hate that happened with that Reddit thread, whatever, it's Reddit. It's gotta roll off your back, and it's okay, you guys don't get to see you guys aren't exposed to all the nice comments and the people that support the set. Unfortunately, the most vocal people are the haters, and that's what you guys get to see the most of. But us, the creators, we get to see both sides, and we're fine, man. Don't worry about it. We're all good. An Abyssal Blade instead of the Midas. Yeah, I mean, we could have gone the route of creating items that he uses like a lot more. I know the heart is not like an item that you see on Naix a lot of the time, but it just worked with the... I mean, he does use it sometimes, so it's not to say that he never uses it, but it just worked in terms of art direction and the theme for the set. It was perfect. We had to do the heart inside of the urn. It was very... I mean, come on, man. He's a mummy, right? So, of course, he's going to work with the whole Egyptian theme. And same with the Midas, it could be a relic that was in the tomb as well that he took with him. So both of those worked perfect. Those are items that he uses them, whether he uses them a lot or not, it still works fine for the set. And I mean, the sword, the Abyssal's blade, I don't think that would look really good on him, even though he uses it, a lot. Same with the Basher. They just wouldn't fit with the art direction, so we decided not to do those for those reasons, man. I mean, he's got the armlet, right? Like, that looks like something that would be in the tomb as well, with the mummified Naix. So he kind of like took that as well on there. So all those three pieces work really well with the whole theme. That's more important to us. Monster, holy shit, dude! That is a lot of credits, man. You need to start spending those things. It's pretty ridiculous. Brick is love. What you can do, dude, is you can right-click and you can translate it to English, so that if you're wondering what he's saying, sometimes I don't repeat it in English and Spanish. You can just right-click and translate, and Twitch will do that for you automatically, man. So that'll help you out. Good to see you back, Monster Sandwich. Thank you, Merlin. Thank you, man. Oh, you're on your iPad? Oh, man. Oh. Oh, shit. Want to see what I've made? Yes, dude, absolutely. Show us. While we start working on our Zbrush over here. It's still kind of rough, but I just wanted to give you guys the lowdown of the steps taken to get here. Actually, let me show you guys the subdivision for this thing so as we start working on it. Oh, fudge. Alright, here we go. Show you guys the geo. Here's level 1. Oh, we did a sub-D for this one. Okay, that's right. We actually kind of... We didn't use the the in-game model for this straight off the bat. We actually made a subdivision level one for this a long time ago. So sometimes we do different versions. Sometimes we just do the LOD or the in-game LODs, and we just smooth that and bring it into the game to keep our really nice volume for it, and keep our bake super fresh and tight. And sometimes we actually make a subdivision and change the volumes inside of Softimage and then bring that into Zbrush. You know, sometimes it works better in different situations. So in this one, we did a sub D for it with a little bit of modeling, and then I just subdivided a couple times and sketched in some of the line work for the armor. Ignore all this a little farther ahead. But yeah, see all these lines? I just grabbed the cracks tool and kind of highlighted some of the cuts and where I want the armor to go. Just really fast, really easy. Just kind of blocking it out, seeing where I want those shapes to be. Sub that out a few times, smoothing that out, polished it out, and you know, got to this place here. And I want it to be a little bit more rugged. I don't want it to look machine made. I wanted to have this indents, like a hammer actually built this. A blacksmith actually built this in different time. And we'll fix this curve a little bit. Got a little bit out of whack, but it's pretty okay for this level of subdivision right now. We can straighten it out later. No biggie. And with this side over here, it's looking okay, not too bad. Lighten this out a little bit better too. Still really early in subdivision, so you see some polygons, some pixels on the geometry, and that's alright. Won't worry about that too much right now. Move this out a little bit. That's still very, very rough while we're working on it. Smooth out the corners here and there. I actually like the flatter edges here at the bottom instead of going straight into this little point. I don't know. I don't know, it works better for me, so we'll keep it that way. Is that the reason that we're streaming in the middle of the night? Versus active gaming. Oh yeah, I know. I was really trying to stream earlier today, but I just couldn't get started. I was too busy with other things. We are trying to move the stream a little bit earlier though, so there's hope, man. There's hope. It's just really difficult with the amount of things that we have to do right now for our schedule. Let me give you a glance of the things that I have to do and the team, the LiveWorkshop team has to do each day or each week. Let me show you our team calendar here. So here's each week set up, and each one of those things is like baking, making Zbrush models, low poly models, effects, animations. You know, there's something every fucking day. Besides the fact that we're doing, you know, I have to run the website and the business side of things and the art direction side of things and a whole bunch of other things that I need to worry about. There's a lot to do around here. So I mean, those kind of things kind of throw off the times that I wish I'd be streaming. Alright, let's fix this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Move this out a little bit. Get more of this curve pushing across on here as well. Even though it's pretty low polygon. This is when we want to fix these design issues. Not later. Later they become a huge headache. So Zbrush here does a really good job. If you do it early enough, you can use the move tool and get those guys into a really nice position. And then keep adding your details afterwards. See, we keep that nice and flushed with this curve. Works really nice. And we need to keep this more stylized, you know, less realistic. So you won't see this having like perfect proportions or completely like overlapping each other or those kind of things that you would see more in a cinematic model. This is more for Dota 2, so we have to make big shapes, nice illustrative shapes that read really nice from far away, and then up close we do some medium details that will be visible whether we do a loading screen or a poster or a nice print where we do more detail work and more beauty render kind of styled modeling. But yeah, this is it's pretty early in the model. Making sure these lines kind of work with each other. It's working pretty well so far. Like I said earlier today, I was working on this just as a test to see how far I could take it, and it ended up working out and be like, well, you know what? I'm actually gonna use this for the model. Whoops. Instead of starting over like I had initially planned to do. I think I actually want to flush this in a little bit closer to the finger. I know this is actually way closer in the low polygon, so I'm gonna flush it in. And I'm gonna make it look like it's actually beat and molded by a hammer, by a blacksmith again. And also helps us keep the shapes a lot simpler for Dota. So it's a win-win if we go with this kind of style of modeling. Alright, a little bit more flushed in. Maybe this part sticks out a little bit too much. I'm gonna bring it in a bit more. And a little bit different on each side. That works out. And we're gonna also age this with a texture and make it a little bit older looking than what you see there on the image. Because I want it to look like it's been, you know, in the tomb with Naix for a very long time. Just like we did with the armlet, or started to with the armlet. The armlet still needs to be aged a little bit more than what you guys saw, but it's part of the art direction that I decided to go with this particular Naix set design. And at the very, when we get into a higher subdivision, not at the very end, but we'll start adding more little details like, I don't know, just like looking at this, I feel some round shapes near the joints actually create a really a more armor kind of feel to it. So like maybe up here we do another one. Yeah, there's not enough polygons for this right now, but pixels. But you guys will get the idea, you know. Feels more built. So yeah, we'll get there, but right now we're still just making the initial shapes and the layering, even though we started off just with one smooth model. We're kind of adding these cuts and making it look like there's layers to them. And as we go higher in subdivision, we'll get in there and clean this up a little bit better. So yeah, it actually looks like it goes underneath, so we'll make that cut a lot, you know, deeper. I mean, it looks like shit right now because there's enough polygons for it, but this is how you build it out in Zbrush. You want to just make your volumes, early subdivisions, sketch out where your detail is going to be, go to your next subdivision, which adds more polygons, and then you start adding more detail, more detail, and more detail. If you try to do too much detail at once, you're gonna have a really hard time of kind of remolding that clay and, you know, keeping it really organic, and you're gonna find yourself into having to restart from scratch a few times if you go that route. So this is a lot easier. Make sure you start building out your models this way. It'll help you in the long run. We'll still have to use the move tool here to keep this kind of more flushed, a little more round. But it's, right now we're trying to do is make sure that we have this overlap, this layering of armor over each other working correctly. And it's almost there. It's looking pretty good. The edge work will work a little bit later, but yeah, see, that's working pretty decent. That'll actually give us a really nice bake. Even though this section is just gonna be flat. Like you guys see, whoops, this is our heart and our Midas. Here you go. So this is what we're gonna be baking into. Really low polygon stuff, but that normal map, once baked onto, is gonna look really nice. I mean, this is just the texture, but once we got a normal map and a little bit of specular on this and rim lighting, all the detail from our Zbrush that you guys can see over here, on the pants, it's gonna come out a lot nicer. Work really, really well. Hey, streamer. Dude, my name is like right there. Call me Sith or Manny. A lot of people call me LiveWorkshop just because that's the name of the channel. But yeah, Sith or Manny, man, whatever you prefer. What program am I using for the... I should put that in the FAQ actually, because a lot of people ask me that, because it's a pretty good program. So here, let me show you. This, I'm gonna actually drag this onto the screen so you guys can see what I'm using. It's called No Board. And if you just do a Google search for that, you'll find it in 2 seconds. But yeah, this is it. You actually do a capture to it. It knows the keys that I'm pressing, so you guys, so the people that are trying to follow along when we're using Zbrush or any other program, Softimage, whatever, they can follow along and see what keys I'm pressing. If I don't go step by step, it would really slow us down. But that's why the keyboard's there, so people can follow along a lot easier if they're trying to replicate something that I'm doing in Zbrush or whatever. Or if I go into a menu too quick, they can see what I pressed. I use a lot of key bindings and key shortcuts. So yeah, man, there you go. Enjoy that. Isaac 86. I know, man, I know. But like I said, we're gonna try and stream earlier. It's our goal. Won't happen all the time, but we're gonna try. What is the Midas art for? Well, I probably already explained, but yeah, we're making the Midas on his back of this life stealer set. You need to buy me a new bandana? Okay, buy me a new bandana if you want, dude. But if you think that this is the only red bandana that I have, you are mistaken. I have a red bandana. Like Superman's closet, like I have a lot of red bandanas. And I have blue ones and black ones and a whole bunch of other ones, but you guys mostly just see the red one. My favorite one. What up, Ice? Thank you for the follow. No board with an H, man. No board. Wait, is that it? No H board, yeah. There you go, man. I put it into the chat for you. When are we going to finish this? We're going to finish the texturing for this guy. I think a couple of things jump in front of it before we finish completely everything. But in a couple, I think next week we're done with this Naix set textures. And I think there's like a couple of materials to do after that. But Enemy is going to be doing those. So my texture side of things is going to be over for it. Then it's just materials. Then we review it. We finish off the animations, the special effects for the Q. R or E, I forget which one it is. I think it's R. I think it's C, not W. Sorry, I think it's Q and E and his ultimate. We're gonna be doing new effects for, so we gotta review those, do iterations on those, and finish them out. But we won't be streaming that stuff. But yeah, what you guys are gonna see, we're gonna finish this next week, and then we'll be jumping onto our Death Prophet, and then I think we mix a little bit of our Legion Commander in there, which you guys haven't seen yet. So you're welcome, Frank. What are the credits for? The credits are for giveaways. Read below, you can see the information below about the credits, dude. Neketaka? Oh fuck, I fucked that up completely. Nekektka. See, that's a hard one to say, man. You guys are just fucking making this difficult on me. Emilish, Debbie, Icecone, I said hi to Icecone, I missed the other guys. Best, Wyrix, Cosmo, I'm gonna call you. Upper Zero, I Quadric, Pixie, SSS. Welcome to the stream, guys. Thank you for the follows. Probably easy if I do those guys on bulk. But yeah, that works out. That works out. What up, Manu? Thank you, Mad Mikey. L2. Oh, who's gonna use the cog command? Come on, somebody. Somebody give me that cog command. Somebody show him the cog wheel. Goku, are you kidding me? You know, dude, if you're not gonna take this conversation seriously, I can't have this Vader versus X, Dragon Ball Z, really? No. He's, as mad as he gets or whatever, nowhere near as angry as Vader. Not even close. Sorry. Ah, there's a cogwheel. Thank you, sir. Good looking out. Hey, Morris. Alright, let's get back to our Midas here. And I think this is fleshed out pretty okay for this section. Well, like I said, we have to like straighten out some of these guys. I think this is actually like, I was just messing around with it, so I actually kind of messed some of this up. This was supposed to be flushed into this section, I think. So this is supposed to be like a separate armor piece going over top. So we'll just have to work with it and mold it into shape. That's a great thing about Zbrush. You can always kind of remold things, go back in subdivisions, clean it up, and then redo it if we need to. But I don't think we need to redo it at this point. I think I can just mold it and fix it. Because we were just doing a test trial, but it ended up working out really nice. So we can just keep going. Let's turn on our back facing with our, where is it? My brush. I have auto masking. Turn that back face mask on. So see when I do this, and it's a big brush, it's not actually gonna grab this back side. Yeah, it's inside of your brush selection there. I feel like that should be a default option in Zbrush, but if you guys don't know or didn't know about it, make sure you guys use that. It's super helpful. Alright, so let's just keep kind of sketching some of these lines. Actually, let's save our work first. It's been a while since we saved. We'll just overwrite our file there. Great. And bring our hand back. There we go. And now this section is going to be over the other one, so let's just kind of cut it up a little bit. What was I doing? I think this is what we're trying to do. I'm actually going to go lower in subdivision here to sketch that in a little bit softer without actually doing a large imprint on our model. And then this section we're planning on overlapping just like that. Same over here. So yeah, I think a lot of people get caught up with Zbrush trying to make it look really nice in their lower subdivisions. And I try and remember to say this every time working with Zbrush, is that you should not worry about that. Your lower subdivisions are supposed to look crappy. They are supposed to look unimpressive. They're more of a roadmap of where you're gonna be taking your model. So don't worry about trying to make it super pretty at the start. It's gonna look rough. It's gonna be a blueprint of where you're gonna take and where you're gonna have your detail, and you just keep adding detail on top of that each time. See, like right here, I just kind of like threw in this lines that were more little elvish, kind of pretty designs that, you know, the person, the blacksmith that crafted this placed on there. You know, like the Midas is supposed to be set for a king or whatever the story is supposed to be, right? The king that turned everything into gold that he touched, right? I think that's supposed to be the backstory for the Midas. So he's got some nice little patterns here that fit for a king. And we'll make those prettier. These are just kind of placeholders, like I said, but they kind of work. They do the job. Part of that block out that we were talking about. Continue here. Sketching in Zbrush. And a rough angle. And I want to keep this line the same here, so it's parallel. And then we bring it back out this way. And then it's parallel to this guy over here, right? A little bit off there. I think I stopped there because we didn't have enough subdivision. It was just starting to look really, really bad when I was trying to cut this guy right here. And it's still kind of low, so I'm going to leave it, you know, kind of rough for now, where they meet. A little bit too thick. It's alright. Put that out. Probably needs to go over a little bit more, but it's alright. It's okay. It's okay if it's rough right now. It's not. We're not worried about how pretty it looks. We're worried about the line design of the overall hand and the armor here. Nah, no worries, ESS, no worries, man. What up, D-Day? Mad Mikey, how long have I been doing this? Professionally, I've been doing about 16 years now, give or take. That is also one of the questions in the FAQ. Check it out. Do I watch South Park? Yes, not religiously, but whenever I catch it on, I think it's really clever. Most episodes are really good. Some episodes are really bad, but for the most part, they're more hit than miss. And yeah, I think they're really clever. They're really good. I like South Park. Sometimes a little too raunchy, and it's not very clever comedy, but sometimes it's really clever, and those are the episodes that I really like. Hey Jay, welcome aboard, man. Do I watch Family Guy? I used to watch a lot of Family Guy. It used to be really clever, and then it just turned into complete crap. I don't watch it anymore. It's like it used to be lowbrow, you know, like it used to be lowbrow and clever, but now it's just either quotes or, you know, things from movies, or it's completely lowbrow and just like shock value crap that I just can't stand. So yeah, I stopped watching Family Guy. It's really shitty now. The quality went downhill big time. Alright, L2. Good night, man. Thank you for dropping by. Brick is love. This is gonna be for a live workshop chest that we're putting together. So when we finish all the sets for it, we're gonna release or put all the items or the sets up and the chest that they all belong to, and sell it. Trying to sell it as a chest to the voters and to Valve. Good day gaming. What's up, man? Camp kill yourself. Can't imagine that being a yearly tradition. Hey Sid, first time watching your stream. Great work, dude. Looking your work is in Steam is really good. Or looking on Steam, okay. And you have a question. What program do you use for showing your keys to us? Oh, dude, you just missed that answer. And it is called Noboard. If you Google that, you will find it, and you can use it on your own streams if that's what you're looking for. Did I watch the Star Wars episodes for Family Guy? Actually, dude, those are like the best. I mean, I'm completely biased, but yes, of course I did. And what's actually really cool, and I probably heard, if you've been in the workshop, you probably heard this story before, but when we were at the studio at Lucas, Seth MacFarlane and Seth Green and those guys, whenever they did like their Robot Chicken Star Wars or the Family Guy Star Wars episodes, they actually brought them like a couple of weeks earlier to the studio, and we went into our theater there, and we had a viewing of an early release or an early viewing of the Star Wars episodes for Family Guy and for Robot Chicken, and they were super hyped to be meeting with us and the people, you know, the whole Star Wars studio, and we were freaking out about meeting them. So it was like a complete geek fest. It was ridiculous. It was really cool. Your TA New Bloom set gets a lot of undeserved hate, slow poke. Yeah, you know what, dude? It's from my point of view, you guys, like I was saying, yeah, you guys don't get to see like a lot of like all the nice comments about it. You guys are actually mostly exposed to all the hate, because you guys see like Reddit, and Reddit is like just a sea of hate most of the time. So and the most vocal people are the haters, not so much the people that like to give people flowers or compliments. On the internet, on streams, you guys are obviously awesome, and you know, I mean, other artists that are online, it's mostly just people that are really nice and are supporting them, and vice versa, right? Supporting each other. But if you go to Reddit or any other of those forums, just the hate just multiplies, and that's all you guys are actually exposed to. But I have seen tons of love for the set as well, so that the Reddit stuff rolls right off our back. We're not even worried about it, not even a little bit. Have I seen the South Park Fuck Magic episode? Is that what you're saying? I haven't caught a lot of the new ones. I've been way too busy, man, but I'm sure I'll get to see them eventually. No board? A no board is the key display that you were asking, that somebody was asking about. That's what it's at. There you go. Yeah, Mr. Forgetful. He's got you, man. All right, let's keep at this, or we're gonna be here all night. And for this guy, I think I'm actually gonna cut this a lot deeper, even at this early subdivision, and then we'll mask it off and pull this other section out a little bit so that it bakes just like it did over here. we'll flatten this out and make it all pretty, but this is just our guide. And I think I actually want to cut in here as well. Those fingers more separate than what they would look, or what they would look in low poly. The Zbrush bake is actually gonna, well, be turned into a normal map, and the normal map will create this added depth between the fingers as well. We'll do a better job next subdivision. This is just, like I said, we're just sketching all these little bits so that we refine them as we move forward. And with the inside here, oh, brush, when you rotate, you actually want to scale your brush around. It changes size because it's judging by depth in C space or fake C 2.5 space. That's how Zbrush works. All right, that's a nice little just a reminder, so when it goes into the next subdivision, it knows that, you know, those polygons don't need to be reworked a lot harder to be that deep. We can just kind of polish them up a little bit later. But that's all that is. I mean, we could use any brush to do that. Standard, clay buildup, whatever it is, it all would work fine. But yeah, see, it makes it look like this is an actual armor piece now, sitting over top of other armor stuff instead of just looking like it's an extension of it. You know, by creating that depth there. Brush these guys out, brush these guys in. Make it look deeper and create an ambient occlusion shadow in there when it bakes out. And I know it's a little thing, but all the little things actually add up to create a more professional model and design in the end. So I mean, it's fine to take shortcuts, but the shortcuts are usually something that should be done for speed related things, not so much for design or depth or distance noticeable things are usually really important, so don't use shortcuts for those things. Those are really important things. Like those little bits there are gonna make a harsher shadow and will actually look like those fingers are going into another piece of armor. So it's worth spending a little bit of time on that, and then we'll make it pretty even later on and spend even more time on it, but it's worth it. Hey Kevin, what's up? Am I hyped for the new Star Wars movies? Dude, absolutely hyped. I think AJ Abrams is gonna do a really good job. Hey, greetings from Peru, what's up, dude? Thank you. You made a HUD for Earthshaker? Deep Magma. Use that program to mold me is difficult to. Oh, you Zbrush? It's difficult for you. Well, if you're a 2D artist, and yeah, it's gonna be a little more difficult for you to learn 3D sculpting. It's you know, I mean, you can borrow some of that knowledge. What am I using here? Okay, you can borrow some of the knowledge, you know, from 2D and apply it to 3D stuff. But I mean, it will take you a little bit of time to get used to working with 3D space and perspective in a way different sense, and actually creating volumes that work in all 360-degree angles on each axis. So yeah, man, but just practice, man. That's all it is. If you're an artist, man, you can get it. And if you get stuck, man, that's why we're here. We'll help you out. Hey, Jeff and Haxrock 2. Can you see the whole set? Yes, man, absolutely. So this is the Zbrush section of it. It's missing some of the items, but you guys can see some. I didn't keep them all in here because they just had memory. on Zbrush, so I like to keep some of them separate and work on them in different files so that I can work faster that way. And then at the end, you know, they all get exported, decimated, and baked out in a different program. So it works out better this way for me, my pipeline. Take what you will from it. And if you want to see the low polygon with some textures started, these are the low polygons. This is what we're working on right now. And this is the other back item that we are a little bit farther ahead on. We still have to finish the textures, materials, all that fun stuff, but we already did have the bakes done, the low poly, the Zbrush for the heart, and the frog urn broken up. And some of the textures started for the face item, the back item, the arm items, and the back item. Right. Throw myself here over in the corner a little bit more. I think I knocked this over at some point. There we go. Okay. I do use OBS, yes. Thank you, Jeff. And thank you for the follow, Can't Kill Yourself. And Trace Mind. Rake. Balladon. Oh, Jay. We already said hello to Jay. What's up, guys? Thank you for following us. Appreciate it. Mr. Vigil. I know, right? It's well, yeah, I mean, heart does take a freaking long time to get. Armor and armlet. And the Midas is optional, so they also have both the Midas and the heart. But yeah. Got both of those at one point. So the bones already come with the model when you get it, the file from Valve, from their website. You can get all the available models when you're creating your items so that you know perfectly how to, you know, if you're doing something tight like this, so you know exactly where those other polygons are so you don't go through it or whatever like this, right? So they give you the default model file, which is this. And it also comes with the skeleton. Now, if you want to add bones to that, you have to be careful because you don't want to go over the bone count that they set and make the game run slower. You know, there's limits to everything, right? But for the most part, all the models already have a skeleton, and you should be applying your items to those, and just in special cases add some bones. But it's a lot more technical, and it's a lot more difficult to do. So most people don't do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, you already have the skeleton when you download that file, so you're good to go. So you can rig that with Blender or any 3D application really that you can import from the SMDs or FBXs. So Maya and 3D Max, all those programs work to scan your mesh, your new item meshes into the skeleton, then export that as an FBX or SMD or whatever it is into the compiler inside of Dota 2 to get into the game. Will the heart be in the set? Yes, of course, it'll be a style. So you'll be able to either choose the heart or put the Midas onto your set, or you know, maybe every other game you switch it up. So that's the idea behind that. It's a style. You can choose which one you want in your model each game. How did I get into doing this? I was working at a studio before this, and I actually made some items for Team Fortress 2. And then a few years after that, I got super busy with my studio work, so I couldn't continue doing Team Fortress 2 stuff. And then after I left that studio, I decided to just continue doing the Dota stuff full time and running the LiveWorkshop. If you're talking about how I got into doing this a while ago, like when I first got started, then that's a whole different story, and you can read part of it below in the FAQ. Oh, no problem, Jeff. Thanks for coming in. Glad to have you, man. Any chance for Assange and Yasha? No. Same reason why we didn't do the Basher or the Abyssal Blade on him. The weapons didn't really fit with the art direction. I really like to keep the theme strong, not just throw items that the hero uses for the hell of it. You know, if they work for the theme that we have going for the set, and we can include that item in a really clever way, then we'll do it. But otherwise, I'm reluctant into doing that. So no, sorry. And we're done with the modeling and the design for the model right now. At this stage, we're basically just doing the textures, the special effects, and the materials for the sets. So like the shininess, the rim lighting, all the stuff that makes all these textures really come out inside of the game. Yeah, for sure, Jeff. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Alright. Where were we? Back to Zbrush. I was up way early today. My eyes are freaking getting tired, but it's alright. We'll finish this Midas tonight. And then tomorrow... Actually, are we on here tomorrow? Not sure we'll be able to come on tomorrow. I'll try. But yeah, tomorrow we have to finish this other wrap. That's holding the Midas and then attaching to the other... to the torso wraps. And with that, we'll be done all the Zbrush stuff, and then we can just concentrate on the textures that you guys can see right here. There's our legs, the start to our legs, the start to our head, the start to our arms, and then there's like the heart that I don't have open right now, but are initial textures. And then when we get to the chainmail, I'll show you guys what I'm doing, how I'm using this texture in Zbrush. It's called a stencil. I'm just gonna make our life a lot easier to create the same shade over many times. For things like chainmail or initial parts of fur or little details that are machine made or molded, you know, instead of making them by hand. Show you guys that when we get to it. This part, what do we do with this part? I feel like we don't really need to define this too. I'm not on that layer. Hide everything else. What was I doing here? I think it was just a little bit of a cut. Nothing too fancy. Let's hide this. It's really cool about Zbrush too. We can hide part of the mesh at a time. So we can get in there and work on some sections that happen to be really close to other ones. Alright, sketch that in a little bit. Nice and quick. We'll make it pretty later. Let's unhide this, guys. And let's just this part visible. Opposed to hiding all the other ones. It's a lot faster. Zbrush gives you the option of doing both of those things. And again, we're just gonna sketch this line a little bit deeper, so when we do our mask and actually bring that stuff out, it'll just be a little easier on us. Alright, that's good enough. Let's do the next finger. Nice and quick. This level doesn't need to be straight even. We can fix the straightness afterwards. So if you're freaking out about making everything perfect, there's low subdivision. Do not worry about it. That you can actually do that afterwards. Just think of this as a sketch. That's how I keep referencing it. Was that Lozenger? The Lozenger? Our buddy Lozenger? Oh no, is that you, man? Oh, my page hasn't updated yet. I guess I'll find out soon. Wait, what the hell? Oh well, we'll find out. Sadly not. Alright, man. Well, welcome nonetheless, man. Thank you for the follow. What's a good way to start in the 3D modeling career? What should you learn first of all? If you want to be a modeling 3D artist, a modeling, a sculptor, whatever you want to call it, Your best bet is to grab, if you don't have any money, grab a free 3D software package. Blender is probably your best choice. If you're a student, your best choice is to grab the student version, which is free, of Maya, Softimage, or 3D Studio Max by Autodesk. Once you learn, you pick one of those to learn, right? Or Blender if it's free one, so you can learn Blender as well. All of them are really similar in the ways that they all relate to vertices, edges, and polygons. So what you need to learn is basically how those edges and polygons create volumes, how those vertices are attached to each other, how you can expand from them, extrude them, move them, scale them, add to them, cut them up. All those basic things is what you need to learn. Once you learn that, try to do basic things like inorganic objects, like tables, chairs, weapons, guns, things like that, and go from there. Try to do environment assets. Those are more on the easier side of things for modeling. At least the more abstract ones, or the more inorganic ones, like the pipe systems that connect to other pipes, and turn and valves and things like that. After that, then you can start experiencing with more difficult things to create, like characters. If you're good at anatomy, then you can kind of start transferring that into it easier. If you're not really good at anatomy, then you need to start learning anatomy on top of sculpting. Those things are kind of separate. They don't really come hand in hand with one another, so that's a whole other thing to learn. But it's the hardest thing to learn, but it's why character art is the most difficult, I think, art to master, because so many things are involved in it. There's design involved with it, there's painting involved with it, there's volumes, it's crazy. It took me the longest to learn, that's for sure. So yeah, once you learn that stuff, then you can jump onto the even more detailed programs like Zbrush to learn how to create models in all these crazy. I mean, we're never going into that much detail with this particular stuff here, but you can get crazy detailed with Zbrush and Mudbox and all these other programs, and then you can jump onto texturing at the same time with Photoshop and applying that to your models and all that stuff. But yeah, that's how to get started, man. Start with easy stuff and build up. Don't try to take too much in at the same time. You'll overwhelm yourself and you'll say fuck it. So take your time and put a lot of time into it at the same time. A lot of times in that sentence. Hey, Darkside, welcome back, man. If you guys just joined, you are looking at something very abstract right now. We're just sketching in some of these lines here. You will see it in a second. We just dial these guys in. Clean that up. Biggie. Okay. Add all those guys. Alright, we kind of place those guys super quick in there, but see from far away. I mean, even this will do a fairly good bake for us for knowing where that ambient occlusion is for a shadow, and you can even use that and start painting on top of that for your texture. ZBrush is really nice for creating detail really easy and really fast, but I mean, we'll make that even better in a bit. We're just still sketching away. It's part of our sketching stage for ZBrush. This guy, we're actually going to use a larger brush, or zoom away, it does the same effect. Kind of throw that guy. And I run them up this way and flatten them out, maybe. Have this guy go all the way in there, so we'll make that go deeper here when we get to this part. Right now we're just doing kind of the outline, kind of like the ink work if you're a 2D artist. If you follow me. This guy will go underneath even more, and we'll cut it in this direction. Or another layering. Maybe this guy actually goes all the way straight down there somewhere. Into darkness. This is all gonna be darkness over here, so we're not really gonna worry about it. Just gonna highlight a little bit, whatever. There, that's enough. Okay. I am drinking the whole garden, man. No problem, Mr. Vigil. No problem, dude. How much longer on this hero? We're gonna finish it next week. Yeah, dark side. Good call, man. Good call. Actually, I think I want to flatten this area a little bit here. I don't like how it goes into a single point. Just don't. This part gets cut off by another armor piece here, which is a little bit more round. And then we're gonna make it a little bit flatter here to kind of mirror this angle. And then it continues all the way up here. And this is supposed to be flushed, I think, with this section. So we're gonna cut that off there, cut this guy off here. Put that out a little bit, and then we'll make it pretty afterwards. Oh, there we go. It's a little nicer. Hello, Tom. When will the set be available? Well, so we're making this set for a LiveWorkshop chest that has 4 other full sets and a courier. So we're planning on finishing all that work for all the sets and couriers and everything that's not done yet. We have, I think, 2 more sets to go on it, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have another bundle to finish. So along with the bundle and this stuff, we're aiming to finish for April 5th. So that's where we're kind of crunching away, trying to finish all that stuff for that date. Kind of a crazy ass crunch, but I think it's going to be worth it. This part didn't work out too well, so we'll have to fix this a little bit later. Bring some of these ships back up. That's right. The line work is still there, and it still works. But that's okay. Oh, I should have this image up so you guys know what the hell's going down. So we are taking some liberties as we're transferring this icon into 3D. We're kind of redesigning some sections, making some sections a little bit larger so they're visible from far away, and makes the item recognizable as the item it's supposed to be. So yeah, you'll notice some changes here and there, but for the most part, it's important that this reads as that icon from very far away, and I think it does so far. Still Naix, yep. Garden is delicious. I absolutely agree with you, man. And that beard's gone, so I need to go get another one after when we go on break in a bit. Any Meepo sets coming up? Dude, we're almost made a Meepo set for the new Bloom, but we decided against it because we had so many good ideas for the special effects for it, and we were not able to do special effects for the new Bloom, as stated by Valve. So we switched over and created the Templar Assassin set instead. So sorry about that. And when we're gonna get back to that Meepo set, I'm not sure, man. No plans for it at the moment, but we have a good idea for it, so that's farther than other sets. So it's kind of good news in a way for ya. Alright, that's pretty decent sketch for those lines. Let's move on to the top a little bit. And after we do these designs for the top, we will... How was I doing here? Oh, it looks like I was trying to do another layer on top of this layer. So I think this layer I'm actually going to cut into this circle. Make it a little bit fancier. I think I want to keep these lines a little bit deeper to the edges. And then maybe make them flush out towards the top. I think that might look pretty cool. This guy would actually go this way. Something like that. And then I think I want to merge this guy and follow along this line up here to keep the design nice and clean. Very nice and readable. As we go here, we'll turn it, keep it a little bit on the ground, and we'll flush it in across this way, and then maybe turn it. And, you know, taking a little different turns here to make it look more man-made. Like I was saying, maybe a blacksmith put this thing together, and, you know, not machine-made, not perfectly cut, not made by a computer or anything like that. There's a human error here. So we're not following all these lines perfectly. And I think it works. Those lines look good. It look better even when we start doing this kind of flush work here. And then subdivisions when we even clean it up even farther, so you can see all those. It's getting there, really. It's starting to look pretty decent. Save our work so we don't lose it. Hey, Kid Pex. Do I want to make a Shadow Fiend set? Yes, I do. I actually have a pretty decent idea for one already. We just haven't had the chance to jump on it. But yeah, we definitely gotta make a Shadow Fiend set, man. Nice, Ag. Nice. Rabbit Cake. Hey, Manny. It is late for me to start learning to do these kind of things. I am already 24 years old and can only do simple environment assets, models and textures with Maya and Photoshop. I am planning on getting into Zbrush soon, but you know, I'm just wondering if it's too late for me to start doing it. Dude, absolutely not. You can always start learning this kind of stuff, especially since you already have a head start on environment stuff. You can totally transfer your skills over to doing like character assets or characters themselves, and then learn Zbrush along the way with that as well, man. So yeah, absolutely, you can still learn. I mean, today you have so many places to go to start learning from professionals. When I was getting started, there was nowhere to learn to this level of stuff, you know, with this amount of direction from experienced artists. You know, you back then you had to dig and search and claw your way into getting a professional to help you, or really look into forums and ask people for help. And you know, information wasn't that available before. So today is a lot easier, man. And the fact that you already have your you know, quite a bit of understanding making assets for environment stuff, you can totally transfer your knowledge and start learning the characters, assets, items, and characters themselves. You know. I mean, if you've never done character stuff or anatomy stuff, like I was saying, you'll have to learn that stuff, and it'll take you a long time, but you can learn it. Not too late, man. And Undead Meepo would be amazing. That's not a bad idea, dude. Our idea was different than that, but I like your idea as well. Never more set sounds difficult to make. No, dude. We have a really good idea. It's gonna be cool. Alright, so now this guy we wanted to flush out as well. So we're gonna cut it around this way. And then we're gonna echo this line here on the bottom as well. Follow across. Oh, fuck. I went to... How low do we want to go there? That's actually a pretty good line. We want to go a little higher. Then round it up. Alright, and then we do the bottom one. Actually already pretty flushed on here nicely. Let's just continue. Oh my god. Do that one more time. That goes a little bit flatter, that section there. Okay. Now the top side of the Midas is not actually designed anywhere on any icons or anything, so we're totally just freestyling this design here a little bit. And this part right here, I believe I wanted to do as a little bit flushed in, or I guess not intruded, pushed in. And just a little bit, because it's going to be a little bit of more of an imprint of the sign on the metal itself. It's not going to be super deep or anything like that. So we'll keep that there just as a starting drawing. then we'll do something special with this here. I'm not sure yet what. And up here we'll do just more damage, like little scratches and whatnot, you know, all those little bits coming about. Hey, Seeker, what's up? This Steam is actually opening up more games to user-curated workshops. Do you see yourself making items for other games in the future? I don't see why not, man. I mean, I think it's gonna really depend on the kind of game that it is. I've always really been pretty adamant about working only on games that I actually both respect the creators of and enjoy playing myself. So I think I would probably stick to those criteria in one way or another. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure we would experiment with if those, you know, that criteria is met, and try something for a really cool game. I'm not sure when that would happen. I mean, there's taking a long time for those other Steam workshops to really get going, so it's not gonna be anytime soon. And we even if that game existed today, we just could not do it. Dota is our main focus, and we are really enjoying what we're doing with Dota. So there's no need for us to really venture a crazy amount at this point. But we'll see. We'll see what the future brings, man. But yeah, I mean, it's super exciting that more games will begin to do that. It's just not here yet. Troll Warlord, yeah, dude, he needs a set back big time. We definitely want to make one for him. That's definitely an FAQ question I should add. For Warlord set? We know, man, we know. Iowa set? Yes, we know. Yeah. Who else do people ask about? Meepo, I guess, is another one. Shadow Fiend was another one. But most of the time, a lot of people ask for sets that are not available to the workshop, and we're like, well, you know, there's a reason why there's no, you know, nobody's making them, and everybody's complaining. It's like, nobody makes sets for these items that, you know, for this characters that we play. It's like, dude, they're not available. Even if we wanted to, we can't make them. Even if we make them, we can't submit them. Birdman, Mandy, would you give me a job at Live Workshop? We are actually growing a little bit here and there in the Live Workshop, so it really depends on your work and experience and all those other things. So before we bring people into the Live Workshop, man. All right, looks pretty okay. Not sure what I'm gonna do up here. Maybe I'll leave this blank for the end, and we'll do some cool stencil here for some cool shape, or maybe do the triangle again, or maybe another circle with another light in it or something. Or maybe we flush it upwards. I think I kind of started doing that already. Kind of like hinted at it. But maybe we actually make it go more oval towards the top, to the point that it just flushes out with this area over here and becomes really, really nice and smooth. So I think that's actually gonna look really cool. But we'll just leave these lines here as placeholder, so we know what the hell I was thinking when we get back to this part, like, and not have to redesign it. But you know, I'll actually look at this and be like, oh, okay, I know what past Manny was thinking. Okay, we can go along with that. Do you guys play with the sets that we make, or do you prefer other sets, or just use or not use them? Yeah, I mean, if we play with the hero, I absolutely use them. I actually don't play a lot of Pudge, even though I would love to. I just haven't had the time to actually get good with him. And if I'm not good with a hero, I don't use him to fuck over my team, right? So that's why I don't use Pudge, even though I would love to use more Pudge and more of our Mad Harvester set. For TA, I want to learn more TA, and I want to use that TA set that we just did. And I do play a lot of Phantom Lancers, so of course I use our Phantom Lancer set. But I mean, we don't just. I mean, we obviously we haven't created sets just for the characters that we use. You know, if it happens to line up, that's just a bonus. Do I ever take on an apprentice to teach? Well, I mean, that's what the live workshop is for. I try and help as many people as possible. That's why this is so great. I'm able to reach a vast amount of people at the same time. On the forums, you know, and whatnot, and trying to help them out. As far as like one-on-one apprentice kind of stuff, I don't have the time for that kind of stuff. I mean, I already kind of art direct and teach our artists at the live workshop, while I'm art directing our projects that they are part of at the same time. So I mean, I don't have really, as much as I would love to be able to have more one-on-ones with artists, I don't have the time to do that right now. We've been talking about doing a class sessions with live workshop, kind of like Gnome Workshop does, you know, those kind of things. So people sign up, they pay a fee for the classes, and we have like a 24-person, maybe 16-person class. And we have one-on-one time with students that way, and we run through a character set or a model or something like that for maybe 4 weeks, something like that. I don't know. Something that we're thinking about, but I don't really have fleshed out and haven't had the time to really figure out just yet. But it's tentative. What's the reason behind not having all the heroes available for the workshop? Oh, well, all the heroes are not separated from Valve. So, and all the polygon limits and the texture spaces haven't been allocated because they're not split up. So that takes some time to split them up, and the 35-person team at Valve is busy doing a million other things, so they don't have time to split stuff up all the time. And then set up all the files and do the screen videos and everything, right, for the workshop stuff. So that's why a lot of the heroes are not ready yet. Some of the heroes are getting remade, so there's no point in splitting those up either. So there's, you know, there's different things going on. There is an awesome PL that just went in. Yeah, actually, that's by Don Don, and he did an awesome job. I really like his PL. Kudos to him, man. Shoutouts. Would it be live classes or online? They would be online, dude, because it'd be, I mean, you'll have to be in San Francisco to, you know. So yeah, they'd be online. Alright, let's flush this guy out. So we are gonna mask this stuff out, and we're gonna use our inflate tool, which is right over here. So let's see. Go into our hard subdivision here real quick. We're gonna mask this guy out. Whoops. Gonna mask this guy out. Actually, let's do it the easier way. That's the inside. And don't worry about the edges not being perfect. We can always fix those with different tools on Zbrush. Let's paint a mask really quickly on here. Or control click. There's so many layers to this that it's let me get my head right here. Have to figure out which part we want to push in first. If we push this part in, then this part over here needs to come out. So we can just inflate that part. Okay, that'll work. Yeah. So, and that's the thing, like we could go over here into our geometry section and just kind of inflate it uniformly, but it would kind of like push the stuff in. I don't want to push the whole thing in. I just want to push in the edges of it, which is a nice trick when you're going to be baking onto something that's super low polygon, like our actual in-game mesh, like this. So I don't want to have to push this guys in as well, when I just want to push the edge in to get that normal map to bake out a really nice detail for us in that section. So I'm going to use the inflate tool, which I already have selected. The nice big brush, and just, oh god, use Alt to push it inwards instead of inflate it outwards. And then just go over the edge and push those sections in. And it will create the illusion that the other section that is masked is actually sitting over top of this section, which is obviously not the deal because we're using one single mesh for it. And then what we can do is just run a little bit of that same tool near the edge here so that it's almost like a smooth, if you will. Go. Alright, so from here on out we can clean this up really nice and easy. I think that's good for this section. I don't think we'll have to touch that again, that mask, so we can undo or erase our mask. And then we can grab our polish tool and start flattening this stuff out. I need to flush this guy out a little bit smoother. Edges. It's a really easy way to create some overlaying armor stuff and detail in Zbrush. You gotta be super precise. You can extrude sections out in Zbrush and make them their own tool, so they're actually sitting over top of each other. And you can create it by, if you create that mask, you can extrude that section out and have it sitting right over top. And it works out really well for some sections, but for this particular stuff, I think this works out just fine. Hey Max. Welcome, dude. And what is that section? That's supposed to be flushed in, so we still need to work on that, so I'm actually not going to touch that right. Same with this side over here, we'll still need to work on that, so I'm just going to work on the inside section of this. Push it out real quick. Nice and easy. This part I should push a little bit farther in, but that's okay. Be able to fix it in a second. A lot of polygons down here, getting a little muddy. But again, we can always fix it. Really nice thing about Zbrush. As long as you're not too high in subdivision levels, you're able to fix up your mess ups fairly easy. Alright, that section is starting to look pretty decent. We'll have to do a better job of the inside part. So we can either flatten it